lovely people. I have realized that a lot of my videos recently have been focused on the mental and emotional side of things, you know, how to get on track, how to be positive, all of those sorts of things, and I realized it's been a really long time since I've done something food related. So today I am going to show you a very amazing recipe, and I'm super excited to show you because I haven't actually made it personally for a really long time. And that recipe is vegan chocolate mousse. And let me just tell you, it is one of the... it's really good. I can devour it very quickly because it is so creamy and so chocolatey and so good. This isn't even a recipe, it's literally just a few ingredients, but it's so worth it to make. It's so easy, it's so yummy, and it's so simple. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you make it yourself at home because you should, because it's really good. Alright. You're going to need a double boiler. You don't have to have a lid or anything for this, just or if you don't have any of that, then you can just use a saucepan and then put a bowl on the top of it. You'll also need some vegan chocolate. I use between 130 to 150 grams of vegan chocolate. I get these huge blocks of it and then I cut it up and use that rather than getting small packets of vegan chocolate. And you will also need a can of coconut cream, 270 mils, and I just used that and it was fine. And some chia seeds, and also cacao nibs. These are optional, but I always prefer them because they add a little bit of crunch, a little bit of extra texture and flavor, and usually just like a tablespoon of each, however much you want. Alright, let's get started. Fridge for at least an hour or 2 hours or as long as you want, but the longer it stays in the fridge the nicer it gets, the more creamy and thick and delicious it gets. So at least an hour in the fridge, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you get it out of the fridge. I must have left it in the fridge for at least an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours, and I think that is the best amount of time to leave it in there. Any less than that and it's not fully hardened and thick the whole way through, so I think a minimum an hour and a half, and there is no maximum, but slightly disappointed. I did talk it up quite a lot, but it seems as if I have overheated the chocolate. So what happens when you overheat the chocolate is it begins to separate. So it was actually starting to separate as I was pouring it in this glass container, and now that it's hardened in the fridge it is quite separated and lumpy, but please don't get me wrong, it still tastes really good. But it's just not the same texture that I'd like. But I'll show you a photo of what it has looked like in the past right here. And As you can see, it usually is very, very creamy, very, very smooth, and very, very delicious. And it's still delicious, but it's just not the right texture that I'd hoped it would be. So I think to get the right texture, my mum suggested boil the water and then take the saucepan off the heat and use the residual heat to melt the chocolate. That way you're not overheating the chocolate and you're not beginning to burn it, because that's when it begins to separate from the coconut cream, and that's when you get a texture like this. So it is possible to make a very creamy mousse. I'm very sorry that I couldn't show you exactly how to make the mousse that I usually make, but you can see in that photo of what it usually looks like. And if you make it, I would suggest to just try boiling the water first, taking it off the heat, melting the chocolate from the residual heat from the boiling water. Yeah, continue to stir it until it's melted, and add the coconut cream and do all of that, but just don't leave it on there too long, otherwise you burn the cream and you end up with it separating like it did here. But it's still really good, and for 4 ingredients, or if you didn't add the cacao nibs and the chia seeds, only 2 ingredients, it's pretty awesome for mousse and for vegan mousse. It's so simple, and when you do it right, it's really, really yummy and really, really smooth and delicious and just like normal mousse. Even though I stuffed up a little bit, thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my mum for filming when I needed both my hands. And if you did like the video, and if you enjoyed it, and if you like this kind of thing, if you want to see more recipes, then please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you can get a notification every time I post a video. And if you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about, or questions you want to ask, or just any thoughts you may have, then please leave a comment down below. I'd love to read them. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Much love to you all. Bye!